Tonight, we do homage to the poet whose sonnets live on more than 400 years after he wrote them. By committing sonnets to memory and by performing them for each other tonight, we become faithful stewards of the richness of our language.
Like as the waves make towards the pebbled shore, so do our minutes hasten to their end. Each changing place in that which goes before, in sequent toil all forwards do content. Nativity, once in the main of light, crawls to maturity, wherewith being crowned.
When in disgrace of fortune in men's eyes, I, all alone, beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me more like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art or that man's scope, with what I most enjoy contented least. Yet, in these thoughts myself almost despising, happily I think on thee, and then my state, and like to the lark at the break of day arising from sullen earth sings hymns at heaven's gate, for thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with care.
Is it thy will, thy image should keep open my heavy eyelids to the weary night? Dost thou desire my slumbers should be broken, while heaven, shadows like to thee do mock my sight? Is it thy spirit that thou sendest from thee so far from home to pry into my deeds, to find out shames and idle hours in me, the scope and tenor of thy jealousy? Oh no! Thy love, though much, is not so great. It is my love that keeps mine eye awake, mine own true love that doth my rest defeat, to play the watchman ever for thy sake. For thee watch I, whilst thou dost wake elsewhere, for me far off, with others all too near.
Oh, that the slave had 40,000 lives. One is too poor, too weak for my revenge. Now do I see 'tis true. Look here, Iago. All my fond love, thus do I blow to heaven. 'Tis gone. Arise, black vengeance, from thy hollow hell. Yield up, O love, thy crowned haunted throne to tyrannous hate. Swell, bosom, with thy fraught, for 'tis of Vespasius' tongues. O blood, blood, blood! Never, Iago, like the Pontic sea, whose icy current and compulsive course ne'er feels retiring ebb, but keeps due on to the Propontic and the Hellespont. Even so my bloody thoughts, with violent pace, shall ne'er look back, ne'er ebb for humble love, till that a capable and wide revenge swallow them up. Now, by yon marble heaven, in the due reverence of a sacred vow, I here engage my words.
As an imperfect actor on the stage, who with his fear is put beside his part, or some fierce thing doth replete with too much rage, whose strength's abundance weakens his own heart, so I, for fear of trust, forget to say the perfect ceremony of love's.
No longer mourn for me when I am dead. Then you shall hear, surely, sullen bell, give warning to the world that I am fled from this vile world, with vilest worms to dwell. Nay, if you read this line, remember not the hand that writ it, for I love you so, that I, in your sweet thoughts, would be forgot, if thinking on me then should make you woe. Oh, if I say you look upon this verse, when I, perhaps, compounded am with clay, do not so much as my poor name rehearse, but let your love, even with my life, decay, lest the wise world should look into your moan, and mock you with me after I am gone.
Oh, never say that I was false of heart. Though absent seem my flame to qualify, as easy might I from myself depart, as for my soul which in thy breast doth lie. That is my home of love. If I have ranged like him that travels, I return again. Just to the time, not with time exchanged, so that myself bring water for my stain. Never believe, though in my nature reign all frailties that besiege all kind of blood, that it is so preposterously be stained to leave for nothing all thy sum of good. For nothing this wide universe I call, save thou, my rose. In it, thou art my all.
Weary with toil, I haste me to my bed. The dear repose for limbs who travel tired. The pen begins a journey in my head, to work my mind when body's works expired. For then my thoughts, from far where I abide, intend a zealous pilgrimage to thee, and keep my drooping eyelids open wide, looking on darkness, which the blind do see. Save thou my soul's imaginary sight, presents thy shadow to my sightless view, which, like a jewel hung in ghastly night, makes black night beauteous, and her old face new. Lo, thus by day my limbs, by night my mind, for thee and for myself no quiet find.
But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe and eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee.
That time of year thou mayest in me behold, when yellow leaves, or none, or few, to hang upon those boughs which shake against the cold. There ruined choirs, where late the sweet birds sang. In me thou seest the twilight of such a day, as after the sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night does take away death's second self, that seals up all in rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire, on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceivest, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well, which thou must leave ere long.
Strength abundance weakens his own heart. So I, for fear of trust, forget to say the perfect ceremony of love's rite, and in mine own love's strength seem to decay, overcharged with burden of mine own love's might. Oh, let my books be then the eloquence and dumb presengers of my speaking breast, who plead for love and look for recompense. More than that tongue, that more hath more expressed. Oh, learn to read what silent love hath writ. To hear with eyes belongs to love's fair wit.
Our judges have reached their decision. In third place, John Gribben. In second place, Natasha Batten. The winner of this year's Mid-Sonnet Recitation Contest is Rio Dennis.